Good evening, everyone. We'll be starting shortly. Hi, Julie. Thanks for sharing. I love when you share. Hi, Fran. So we're going to get started. This is my design with Debbie. For those of you that are new, hi, Wendy. I do this every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And I did list a couple days ago the supplies that you need for tonight if you're going to stamp along with me. Hi, Sally. Hi, Faith. Hi, Marlene. Hi, Anne-Marie. Okay, so I gave you guys a choice of the stamp sets that I had on hand. As you notice, they all have birds. If you had something similar, but not these three, anything with birds would help. So the one I'm using tonight is Petal Palette. I'm using the big flower image and the bird. I'm going to show you guys the cards in a minute. You'll see how easily they are to adapt. Hi, Barb. Hi, Kelly. Hi, Dixie. I'm trying to catch everybody as you come on. Hi, Kathy. Hi, Brenna. Okay, and then the best birds, what I did, I made 3 cards with all 3 of these. The best birds, I used the bird, the branch, and the Color Me Happy. Now, this is a stamp set that is not in the catalog. This debuted when our stamping blends came out because you can color with the stamping blends. So again, on this one, I used the bird and the flower. So let me show you what we're going to work on. Hi, Julie. Hi, Sue. So these are the 3 cards. This is the one I'm going to show you how to make, but they're all the same. So if you have a bird image, all you need is flowers or branches. And we're going to stamp on each side. The bird is done separately. And then once we have all the stamping and coloring done, we cut out the square. So I'm going to, there's no way I can keep all 3 of these out as I work. And let me flip this over because that's from the other night. So I'm going to leave this one out and I'll keep popping these in case you guys are using this, these 2 stamp sets. So let's go over what we need for tonight. Hi, Karen. Hi, Julie. Hi, Carol. Oh, I'm glad you guys love the cards. I had a lot of fun making this. Okay, so Pear Pizzazz, 10 inches by 5, because we're making a square card. 2 pieces of Whisper White, 4.5 by 4.5, because one is for the inside. And this is what I did on the inside. I didn't do the 2 other cards on the inside, but just to show you what I did with that one. 1 piece of white 4 by 4, and then the scrap piece for stamping the bird. And then let me leave this out for a little bit in case you guys want to write these down. The ink we're using. Now, if you guys chose to color with the blends markers, you know that you need Memento ink. If you're choosing to color with markers or an aqua painter or blender pen, then you need the basic black ink. They don't all work together. Now, I need to talk to you a little bit about the blends before we get going. Stampin' Up! Just announced that the blends have been selling like hotcakes, so much so that they had to shut off the ordering of these until the stock is replenished. These have been going like crazy. So they will be back at the end of May. So they're not gone forever. It's just that there's a lot of colors that are now out of stock and they want to replenish all the colors before they're available again. So I'm using Old Olive, light and dark, Daffodil Delight, light and dark, Ivory, bronze, and the Color Lifter. For dies, I'm using the largest of the square shape from the Stitch Shapes dies.
I'm using this small square from the Layering Squares, and that one measures 1 7/8 by 1 7/8. And then we're using the bird, let me show you, from the Petals and More Thinlits dies, and that coordinates with this set. So if you have, hold on a minute, like this bird does not have a die with it, so I hand cut this one. This one did have a coordinating die. I also am using the foam adhesive strips. I've gone ahead and just snipped a row so that they'll fit under my square. I'll show you how to do that. And what else? Okay, and then I have the Sentiment is from the Petal palette also. This stamp set actually comes, it's a large stamp set. It comes in 2 cases. So you have a total of 15 stamps in this set. And we're using From the Heart on this one. Okay, so let's get started. The first thing we're going to do is score the pear pizzazz at 5 inches. And again, to remind everybody that's just tuning in for the first time, my Wednesday night classes, I always list the supplies that you need a couple days before. And if you want to stamp along with us, I go slow so you can catch up. And I always encourage everybody to load their finished projects in the comments section. Okay, now I'm going to score this pear pizzazz and then glue the larger of the white to the front. And then the smaller one is the one we're going to stamp on. So I'm going to bring in my stamps. We're going to do the bird first. So again, if you're coloring with markers, a blender pen, and an aqua painter, you need to use the Archival Basic Black ink. And then we're going to stamp on the smaller of the 3 white pieces. We're just going to add the flower. And then what I did is I added just a few leaves on the ends just to fill in this side. And this may not look like my other card when I'm done. It just depends where I stamp the images. Okay, so that's all I'm going to do on that one. Now I'm going to bring in the piece that goes on the inside, and I'll show you that again. And I am going to color with the blends. So 1 in the corner, and then I'm going to give away my little secret that I did today. When I stamped this one, I meant to do just 1, and I had black ink on my finger, and it was right there. So that's why I snuck that one in there to cover my little boo-boo. You guys would never know unless I told you, right? And then I'm going to stamp the Sentiment, and then I'll give you guys time to catch up. That's going to go on the very bottom. And now I'm going to put my ink away so I don't make another boo-boo. Okay, so I'm just going to wait a little bit to let you guys catch up. Yeah, Karen, I always tell my customers there's always a way to fix a boo-boo. Almost always. Now, this card, I'm calling this a Faux Shadow Box. It almost looks like the Eclipse technique too, but I'm calling it a Faux Shadow Box because to me this is a frame and the bird is sitting on the frame. So that's my naming of my card. Okay. I'm just going to give you guys another minute. So for those of you just watching, just a reminder that there are people stamping with me.
So let's talk about my French accent. That was brought up at my last class. I do come from 2 Canadian parents that moved to the US before I was born. So I do speak 2 languages. I learned French first, so you will hear a small French accent. I can't hide it. I've had it all my life. So yes, sometimes I do pronounce my words differently than you would. We had a nice conversation about that on the last video. It was kind of funny. Okay, now I'm going to color the roses yellow with the Daffodil Delight. Now these flowers are so detailed and so small that I kind of just colored the whole thing with the light marker first. I did also have somebody ask me a couple of weeks ago if I could zoom in when I'm coloring. I'm still new to doing all of these videos. I don't dare touch my camera. I don't want to lose you. I'm not sure how to do that yet. So if somebody out there does videos, maybe you can tell me how you do it. I have an iPhone. And I did try to touch my screen as a practice and try to like just pinch so I could zoom in, but it didn't work. So I just don't want to lose you guys, so I don't dare do that. Okay, so I colored with the dark. And now all I'm going to do, I'm just going to tap here and there. Like I said, because the images are so small, you don't really need to blend on this one. So see, all I did was add some here and there, and to me that's enough. So I'm just kind of tapping and pouncing here and there. I'm going to do that on both pieces. It kind of looks like it's watercolored to me. Oh, my husband's on and he's telling you guys I taught him some French. I won't tell you the words he wanted to learn though. I'll keep that a secret. Okay, so that's it on the yellow. See how quick that was? I just added the light first and then pounced on the dark. Now I'm going to do the opposite with the Old Olive, which I got the wrong end. On this one, because you have the veins of the leaf, I'm just going to trace those. And then I'm going to go in and color with the lighter one, and that's going to blend together. Okay, whoops, one more. Hi, Sue. Hi, Kim. Hi, Diane. I know I missed some of you guys because that kind of scrolls up as you guys type in your comments. So I have to go back later and say hi to you. So now I'm just blending the 2 colors together. Oh, and a reminder, tomorrow I'm going to do another Stamparatus video. It's going to have to be in the morning because I have a class tomorrow night and I have a class on Friday. So tomorrow at 9 a.m. Eastern time, I'm going to be doing another Stamparatus demonstration. I think this is my 4th or 5th video that I've done on the Stamparatus. I'm having so much fun. Most of you guys that had reserved them should have received them by now. I hope you've played with them. Hi, Debs. That's okay if you're late. Okay, now a little trick that I'm doing. Oh, you know what? I need to color my bird too. I almost forgot him. Let me do that first. And he's really simple. I just did one color. And then I did his wing a little darker. Okay. I'm going to see if you guys can see this on the camera. You'll notice, I hope, I outlined all of my images with the ivory. I don't know if you can see that. I hope you can see it. I'm going to show you, and the reason I do that is because it makes the images pop off of the cardstock, off of the white. So what I'm doing is just tracing around the whole image. And that's where my color lifter is going to come in. On my color lifter, I'm going on the edge where you can see the line. And that's going to shade it out and blend it into the Whisper White. It's like magic. It's like it gets bleached out. Okay, so let me see if you can see that. Can you guys see that? So the line is not so prominent. This just shades it out for you. I use the color lifter a lot. I use it so much that I have 3 or 4 of them. Once I'm done coloring something, I usually lighten up some of the areas because it bleaches it out. It also fixes mistakes when you color outside of the line. So again, I'm just going to trace on the outside. And you don't only have to do this with the tan color. It has to be light. Sometimes I use like soft sky or smoky slate. I've done this with markers before. And I wish I could zoom in so you guys could see. And it doesn't look like I'm doing anything just as I'm laying the color, but it takes a couple seconds for it to work. And you see that it blends it right out. So there's another look to it. Hi, Linda. I make it look so easy. Probably because I went to school for art. I went to college for art. My mother liked to draw. I kind of took after her. So yeah, it does come easy to me. I'm sorry. I think you knew that about me though, Linda. I think you made a comment before that you understood how I came up with some of my designs. Okay, we only got one more cluster to go. So if some of you guys are still coloring, oh, Karen, you can see it good. So there's 2 more. This one's done and the little one there is done. If you guys watch this again too, you can click on the video, I can't remember what it looks like, a little square at the bottom of the video where you can enlarge the screen. So you'd be able to see the detail a lot better. And you can see I'm just going really quick around this. You don't have to be perfect. I think sometimes some of you guys get too frustrated because you're trying to be too perfect. Just go for it. Okay, this is the last time with the color lifter. But don't you guys think that makes a big difference? It just makes the images pop, especially the Old Olive and the Daffodil Delight coloring. But anybody that orders the blends, I highly recommend you need to get the color lifter. Don't go without it. Oops, a little bit more right here. Okay, so that one's all done too. So both of my panels are done. Now I'm going to bring in the Big Shot. And I'll give you guys a minute to catch up. How close am I going? I am going like wherever the line ends, I'm going right on the line. So it just bleaches it out. If you go too close, you're going to end up bleaching out some of the old olive. So just go right on the edge. And then once it dries, it takes a couple minutes for it to work completely. And if you think it's not enough, you can do it again. You can just keep going until you like the way that it looks. Okay, so now I'm going to cut out my little bird. And the little trick that I showed everybody to use washi tape to hold the die down. So there's the little bird. Isn't he cute? I think it's adorable. Okay, now we're going to bring in the panel that goes on the front, the smaller one. And I just want to show you the difference. Now this I can center because the sentiment is not too large. But on this one, the sentiment is 2 lines. So I had to move up a little bit. So it's not perfectly centered. But then you have the branch here that makes it look good anyway. And then this one is centered. This one was pretty easy. So I'm going to center that, and that's good about right there. And then the other square goes right in the center of that. Now I like the way that looks. If you guys are worried it's going to move, I don't think mine's going to move. You can use the washi tape. Let me see if I can put these up here. Maybe you guys can see them all now that I've got this, the messy stuff done. Okay, so now you've got the big frame, the little square, and this is the part we're going to use as the faux frame. So we're going to glue the big piece on first. Make sure your card is right side up. I'm sure we've all glued the front of our cards upside down before. I did it not too long ago, actually. Now, when we put the middle section, we want to make sure that everything's lined up. So you can actually put the square back in there. It's easy to position that way. So it's just like a big puzzle. Now I need to bring my paper piercer in. Pull this right out. So see how easy that was? And then I'm going to bring in the adhesive strips. If you don't have these, you can use the mini dimensionals. And what I did before I glued the other two down is I cut just a little strip off from 2 of them to add to my bird. Whoops, the backing didn't come off. I just figured while I have these out, I might as well just use them. Okay, so the bird is all ready to go. Oh, Deborah, that's true. If you're on your phone, you are going to have a hard time seeing all the detail. And I usually, about a week later, I'm trying to catch up on all my videos to put them on my blog. So once I load them to my blog, you guys will be able to see the close-ups. Okay, so now all 4 sides have the foam adhesive strips. See how neat that is? I just love the way that looks. And then all we have left to do is add the bird. And now we're going to glue the inside. And I want to apologize. My last two videos, I forgot to do the insides of my cards. Everything was laying right off to the side, and I'm just not used to doing the insides. But I did post photos afterwards. And I didn't add a sentiment yet because I'm not sure what I'm going to use. So there's the two cards that are the same, and then the two cards that use the other two stamp sets. Now on this one, because I just used the flower image by itself, what I did is I stamped it on a Post-it note first so I could use the masking technique that I showed you guys last week. And that way I could do all the clusters of flowers. For this one, I did the large branch first, and then I added more pieces of it because there is only one branch in this set. But if you turn the angles at different ways, like this one I had it turned this way, this one I went upwards, you can't even tell that it's the same stamp. So I thought that was really neat. So that's my card for tonight. I'm not sure what I'm doing for next week, but make sure you join me tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Eastern Time. I'll have the Stamparatus demonstration. And for those of you that are working, of course, you can come by and see it when you get home. So thanks for stopping in tonight. I was happy to see everybody visiting, and thanks for all the love. See you later.